Alright guys, welcome back to Alliance War Season 42, War number 9, the war that doesn't really count because the update screwed everything up. I did not update my game yet, so I'm just sticking with, I didn't have any issues, but we did not go as hard on this particular war. We still wanted to try and win, we did not, but it didn't really matter to the actual season, but it probably still affects the war rating, so we'll see how that goes. I do apologize for the guys who love the videos to be full speed the entire time. We've got like 14 fights this war, so I want to keep it to around 20 minutes, so I did speed them up by a very slight amount. The first fight, Node 4 against this thing, I did kind of get a little bit messed up because of his rock stacks, and I do let him heal up a little bit more than I would have liked on this one, but then we get ourselves back in order and Oc finishes the job. Obviously, I like a lot of times I go with Apocalypse on this first section of Path 1, but I was trying to fit in as many fights as I could, so and some things don't always go exactly to plan, but we've got some good ones in here, and we actually brought in a champion I don't think I've ever brought into Alliance War. In Terrax is going to make an appearance for Section 2, Path 3, and that's going to be kind of cool to see, because I've never brought him in for anything. So here, unfortunately, we did have to get our bearings again against this thing fight, and then Oc takes him down. Still a pretty nice solo here, but just have to be careful with the regens when you get too close to him. Next up is the Masochism Immortal Hulk, and we decided to go with Kingpin here. We got Kingpin, Oc, and Terrax doing Path 1 in Section 1, and then it's going to switch to Path 3 in Section 2. We also got some mini-boss action, like some of the shared fights in Section 1. Like, we got all the minis on the left-hand side. We've got one of the first shared minis, and we got two minis in the boss circle. And I did take the Korg boss, but I don't have it recorded here. If you want to see a Korg boss solo, you can take a look at War number 8. I did the same thing with Magneto, but did not go exactly as planned. I had to revive to finish it off, but not the end of the world. But I don't need that. I already have that fight in there, so I'm not gonna, I didn't want to put another like 5 minutes at the end of this video. So Kingpin, I just play him stun immune against Immortal Hulk, and it's great, easy fight. Next up, Bishop on node 20 as a global defender. This one is a little tricky here, but Oc does a fairly good job on it here. We're going to try and get our parry heavies off. You can see just even one heavy, or like two heavies, and 25% is done. The only issue here is, again, one of these nodes where he's gaining healing. I need to keep the heal blocks on, and that means a lot of parry heavies. And now I do try to, unfortunately, I get clipped there, and I wanted to get a parry, and that parry just didn't stick. And because of that, boom, he shoots basically right back up to full, and we're basically starting the fight from scratch. So we're going to do the same thing. We're trying to get into our parry heavy method, and then unfortunately he throws a special 1. So this is not working out the way I wanted. I throw that special 2 to kind of push him across the screen. It gets some good damage, but I'm stuck taking some incinerate damage on my end. And again, I wasn't able to make him hold block, so now I'm stuck again. But I'm just risking a little bit of damage here in order to make sure I can keep up my parry heavies and get that, even throwing the special 1 here to refresh that, try to refresh the heal block there. And then finally we get back into our parry heavies, and goodbye Bishop. So we take some calculated risk there, taking some damage, but got the solo. Next, Path 3 in Section 1, we got Node 6. There's no Mega Sentinel here. Galan was not banned again, so we can just go ahead and play Galan, which is grab a bunch of buffs, throw a heavy attack, and special 1, goodbye Omega Sentinel. Now, next up is a Hazard Shift Zemo. We have done this one before with Magneto. Unfortunately, on this one, I don't know what it was with my timing. At the beginning of the fight, I like to counter I make sure the magnetism is on, and I like to counter his heavies or his special ones with my heavy. There is aggression prowess on this one, and obviously more prowess are going to give him more power gain. Magnetism does shut almost everything down, but I try to be a bit aggressive there just to push him to special ones, and that heavy counter works out really well. But then at some point I mess up my spacing. It's probably me, but there's a couple points where I don't get the spacing correct. I go for the heavy counter. Like here, I'm a little short, so that was very annoying. And then because I'm a little short, I overcompensate, and then like I was too far away, and then I end up being too close there, and I mistime it, and that's one screws up. That one finally hits again, but I just need to build to a special 3 and keep him at special 1s. Unfortunately, because I keep up this the silly business here of messing up my heavy attacks, eventually I accidentally push him to a special 2, and then I think I instinctively just hit special 3 because I was close to special 3, and that was not the right move. I should have waited. Even though I pushed him to special 2, I probably would have taken a sizable amount of block damage, but probably survived. Unfortunately, I didn't have an invul boost on here, and I get hit by a special 3, and then I'm stuck having to revive and heal up, and then I'm able to finish him off no problem. So again, I should have just played it smart. Oh, other than that, where I get clipped in the face, and again, miss another heavy counter there. But I do manage to get my bearings and finish this one off. So not perfect, but again, we did get this one down, and I have soloed it before. I know it is a tricky one, but Magneto is great for Zemo, even on this hazard shift node. You can see I'm barely taking any of the hazard shift damage, but there, again, I miss my heavy attack, and that's just annoying that that happened, and there are a couple things in this war that didn't go. Again, I miss another heavy attack. So there's a couple of things in this war that really frustrated me, but, you know, at the end of the day, this wasn't the most important one, and it was kind of out of reach early, so I didn't feel so bad about the screw-ups, but at the same time, I don't want to give up deaths if I don't have to. So there we go. Finish off Zemo there on node 22. Next we go to node 24. We've got an Apocalypse here on Buffet, and this one should have been a really easy fight with Galan, and the first half of the fight, super easy. We're just going to go ahead, we can parry, we can get a nice little intercept, we can go medium, light, medium, build up our the buffs on us. And then when we're ready, we're going to go ahead and, I'm just trying to get as many buffs as I can here. Beta Special 2. Counter with a heavy. Throw my big Special 1, and he's almost halfway down just on that first harvest alone. But unfortunately, I'm just missing parries. Stuff is just not working out the way that I wanted in this war. And you're going to see me get clapped here. There, I go ahead, get the second harvest off. I'm feeling really good about this one. Go ahead, block that special 2, no problem. Counter, get some more hits up. He's now Incinerate immune. That's fine. We just need one more harvest here. And I'm going to parry, and then I'm not going to be able to get my heavy off fast enough, and I'm going to get clapped in the face with a special 1, and it's going to be right there. I was trying to heavy, and nothing was happening. I get hit with a special 1. Luckily, I don't die. I throw off a special 2 just to get some spacing again. A few more hits into him, and he's gone. And again, another missed heavy there. So my timing, something was off with how I was feeling in this one. Trying really hard to finish it, and I'm just glad I got out of it. Next, we got Sassy on node 30. Again, I have done this one with with Apocalypse, I believe, but Doc Ock can do this one as well. We're going to go ahead, parry heavy, and again, the beginning of the fight, similar to the Thing fight or the Bishop fight, really nice amount of damage at the beginning, but then when you start having to play around little extra things in this fight, it is the Wrath. But right here, we're going to go ahead, nice damage there, over 30k direct damage on that heavy attack with the triple debuff. And again, now I've lost my charges, unfortunately. So that's the problem when you have like something like Wrath where they become stun immune. Difficult to parry heavy and get the keep up the debuffs. So here we're going to go ahead, drop a special 2, and then try and get back. Now that his Wrath is gone, he's healing up. We want to make sure that we can get back into our parry heavy game. That is what we want to do. There we go. Finally back into the parry heavy game. Let him throw that special 1. Now we just want to get back into the parry heavy game. Every time we do a heavy or we drop the special 2, get the triple debuff back up again. And now we're going to refresh it with a special 1, and we're going to keep taking advantage of those debuffs to siphon off some power and some healing. Go ahead again, refresh it with a special 1. Wait for Wrath to, at this point, I'm just going to keep refreshing it until Wrath is finished. Wrath is done now, so I can parry freely. Of course, it doesn't want to let me. There we go. Refresh it. And then I think we go for a heavy attack to finish the fight. There we go. Big direct damage there on the last hit. Next is a Nimrod on buffet. This should be an easy fight with Galan because he's got those armor ups. We're going to just fuel our buffs. And we're going to go for, I think, 1 or 2 harvests, and he's done. There, special 1. We're going to just take that on the block, evade it. There we go, big special 1. Okay, almost finished. So we just have to do 1 more harvest and take him out. Here, just trying to get him to beta special. Of course, he doesn't want to do it. Finally, he throws that special 1. Again, we go with the medium-light mediums there. Go for a nice heavy attack. Special 1. And Nimrod is nuked. Alright, next up is this Killmonger on 46. And Killmonger can be annoying. Burden of Might, energy resistance here. It's basically just using Doc Ock like we've done a couple other times. And I just got to go ahead and get the parry heavies off. And that's where the damage is going to come from. Unfortunately, like right there, I take the special 1 on the block. I do it all the time. But a couple times, like there, do it 2 times in a row. I'm feeling really confident. That one, my block doesn't work. I get clapped. I get some bleed damage. No fun there. And that got me also got me out of my groove. Because again, with Doc Ock, you want to keep your debuffs up, and you either want a heavy attack to remove them or use a special to reapply them. We're not going to be able to get any specials off in this fight, so we have to get them with the parry heavies. And again, there's another one that doesn't hit, but we're able. And again, that's a second special 1 that we're not able to block. It goes right through, or at least my block is not registering the way I want it to. I'm sure looking at it, you can be like, sure, you're just not blocking. But I am holding block on those ones, and it's just not working the way I wanted. So there, we actually feel like we're almost done here. I'm feeling really, really good. The special 2 goes off. I'm going to go ahead, get a full combo on, parry heavy. He's almost finished. 1 more we need. Or at least, there we go. We need 1 more hit. Nope. A 3rd time, I wasn't able to block the special 1. So we have to go back in and, again, first hit, can't get the parry. Second one, 1 more hit. That was all we were missing. Very frustrated with that one there. Now we go in section 2. We got node 32. We got the Silver Surfer. If he has an armor up, he's going to put bleeds on you. I decided to bring in Terrax, who's actually bleed and shock immune. So he's actually good for this node 32 and 42. Because one puts bleeds on, the other one has increased like shocks. And again, if they have an armor up, you're going to get shocks on you, and it's going to be an Idoom there. So this one, really easy. We have a 7-star Terrax, so it's fun to bring him in. And it's just a simple, straightforward Silver Surfer fight. Nothing crazy on this particular one at all. Just bait those special ones. I think at one point we actually are. I was trying to avoid dealing with a special 2, but instead you can see here Surfer does not want to throw a special 1. So we're just going to continue to try and bait it, but he doesn't want to. I don't want to get stuck in the corner, so I do a few hits into the block. Still doesn't want to throw it, so we're forced to push him to a special 2. And as soon as we push him to a special 2, How do you know? He throws the special. So luckily we got a clean evade there. Throw a special 2 of our own. Get a nice 23k crit. Heavy attack for another big crit. And we can go right back into another special 2 to finish it off. So that was a nice fight. And then we got an Idoom on 42. And this one also, if like sloped armor. So yeah, there's also some glancing with the armor ups. And there's shock, but we're immune to the shock, so that's not so bad here at all. Also, when we throw the special 1, we're going to get some armor breaks on him. We're going to get rid of the... there we get rid of his armor temporarily, and because of that, we're not going to get glancing. We'll get our full damage. Bait a special 2, and just hit into him again. So, really easy fight here with Terrax. Really like how this went. Nice little intercept there. Bait his heavy attack. Go back in with another big special 2. Bait his special 1. And we are almost done. He does get his healing there at 15%. So we just got to deal with that. One more nice clean evade and he's done. Next up in the boss circle we have a Vigorous Assault and Safeguard Toad. And I think we did this once, but I've also since remembered that in Toad's ability, when he puts those paralytic poisons on you, all you have to do, like there's one on me there, I quickly do a dash back. When I do that dash back, I remove the paralytic poison on me. Now, because this one has Safeguard, and there's a damage cap on here, Oc I find is amazing for this type of fight, because you can see here, I'm limited on the hits of the special 2, but when I go for the heavy attack, I get like 30k of direct damage there with the triple debuff. So the direct damage you get off from the heavy attacks when you get rid of the power lock or the heal block there is going to bypass the Safeguard, but the regular hits are only going to cap out at whatever it is, 2,869. That is the cap there for this particular fight with my maxed out Oc here. So we're going to go ahead. There's like 35k direct damage there. Another few parry heavies, and we're pretty much done this Toad fight with an almost full yellow bar with Oc. And then last for this, I did do the boss, but you'll have to go back to war number 8 if you want to see a boss solo there. I did die to it this time, but the war is pretty much over. And then here we have a Mangog, one of my favorite fights with Oc, because he has natural power gain. So when you do your parry heavies, you're going to automatically reapply the power drain almost every single time. I do get tripped up a little bit here. I tried to go for the special 2, but missed. Refreshing the debuff by a second, so I just have to get back into the groove on this one, which is just with the parry heavies. And again, right here, I'm still waiting to get back into a good groove. He's going to throw a couple specials, but now I'm going to refresh the power lock with a special 1, get back into my parry heavies to keep that power lock on. Now he's not going to get back to another special 1 for the rest of the fight, and we're going to be in very good shape. So we're just going to let this one play out. Again, if you want to see a Korg boss solo, you can check out war number 8. We did get one with Magneto. I did the exact same thing here, but it just wasn't worth putting it in. I died to him because I messed up, but the war was already out of reach, so it didn't really matter to me. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and you can watch the rest of this fight, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.